In this video, I'll be sharing with you a tutorial on how to make this stylish two-piece smoky top. So if this is something you like, kindly hit on the subscribe button. This dress is from Favorite Store on Instagram. So to start, I'll start with my pattern paper. Now, I'm meant to draft this on the fabric directly, but to make it easier to understand, I will draft it on the pattern paper, then transfer it to my measurements. Now, if you're making a smoky dress, you're going to add extra 4 to 5 inches in front before going ahead to take your measurements. So in one of my previous tutorial where I made a smoky dress, I got a request to make the top. So here's the top. Now you need to mark your shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, and shoulder to waist, and also where you want the top length to stop. Now all this might not be necessary, but I'm just trying to explain it to make this video more easy to understand in case there's a beginner in the house. Now I marked my blouse length, which is about 4 inches after my waistline. Now this is not a standard. You can choose to leave it at that 4 inches after your waistline, or go down by 5 inches, or make it reach your hip point. It totally depends on what you want. Now, I'll just go ahead and mark out all these lines that I have. Now, I might not be making use of all these measurements, but I'm just going to go ahead to mark this out. Now, here's the shoulder to bust, waist, and blouse length, right? Now, my blouse length I used is 4 inches after the waistline, so it did not get to the... Now, to determine where my top will start, you will notice that this top started closely towards the bust or the chest line area. So because of this, I'll be doing -6 from my pattern. I'll be minusing 6 inches from the upper part of my pattern, right? Now, just like I said, my blouse did not get to my hip. It is above my hip line. So if my blouse got to my hip, I'll be using my hip circumference divided by 4 to cut this pattern. Now, since it's above my hip, and the biggest measurement at the upper part of my body is my bust, what I'll do is to divide my bust by 4 inches. Now I'll mark. Remember, already we have marked about 4 to 5 inches in front. Now, I'll just mark my bust circumference starting from the upper part all the way to the lower part of this pattern. Now, I want to make sure I have a straight line on this line. So after marking that, I'll place my ruler and I'll connect. Now, we are done drafting out this pattern. Now, whatever we cut out here, I'm going to use it to cut out both the front and the back pattern of this dress. You're not going to cut any other pattern. So just like I said, I'm supposed to draft this on a fabric. To make it more easy to understand, I drafted it out on my pattern paper. So now, this is what I'll be using to cut out this pattern. Now, for a dress, for a smoky dress, is either you weave the upper part and the lower part, or you fold it out. Now, if you're weaving it, you're going to add ½ inch on top and ½ inch underneath.